Good morning, Darren. Welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Morning.
Darren, you didn't put on your pajamas.
This is why I sleep in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I put on my real pajamas, I wouldn't get in the building.
This makes
That
sense.
was my challenge as well. I understand where you're coming from, sir.
Yes.
So, Darren, I mean, how long you doing poetry now?
I started performing in 2009.
2009.
Yeah.
And how hard it is to write a poem, like realistically?
It varies for different people. Sometimes the poem is inside of you before you start, and it's just about getting it on paper. And then sometimes people could follow certain patterns, and hopefully this morning you all could follow a pattern that I offer to you all to write something. Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Apart from like patterns, are there any specific rules or stuff that goes into poetry? You know, any rules, I don't know, things that you have to do, like do you need stanzas? Do you need rhymes?
All the primary school grammar
Yeah,
coming out.
there's traditional poetry and then there's freelance poetry. Spoken word more goes along the freelancing line, but then there are specific rules to poems like sonnets, and there are different types of sonnets, Shakespearean, Italian, 14 lines, and you have to rhyme certain lines, etc. Then the poem has a plot twist from the 8th to the 6th line. What the good spoken word poets tend to do is mix the traditional and the freelancing styles. So like you could have a sonnet within your spoken word, and certain people might be able to pick up on it, and it gives your writing richer quality. But we ain't gonna go so deep to it.
But
I'm still not sure what a sonnet is. I mean, like, sir, let's go easy.
At least our audience knows that with poetry, it's deep business.
Right,
Yes.
right.
You know?
Yes.
But it's also creativity. It's getting that expression through words on paper and in sound.
Of course. When we teaching poetry to younger people, it's all about expressing your own story. It's a rhythmic expression of your particular story, or the ways that you want to see the world. So the poetry becomes something very personal and unique to you.
Would you say that somebody needs to be a good communicator to be able to write a poem or to express their poem?
As human beings, we all communicate. Of course, the better you are at communicating, the better your poetry may come about, because you'll be able to reach and touch the audience in a certain way. But what the poetry does, it helps you to learn the art of communication as you go on. Yeah.
Deep stuff there. All right.
Definitely.
It's time for a poetry competition.
Competition? We're supposed to get a lesson first?
First of all, we need to learn.
All right. Yeah, probably ahead of myself.
What is going on here?
Exciting.
And,
She
and we
has,
up
like,
against?
some
And
lines
why is
written
it a competition? We're going against a professional over here.
I am a professional. Look, the
Yeah.
professional sitting down there teaching
No,
us.
well, he's teaching us, but you...
I just pay attention to Darren plenty. Come, let me go.
I don't know anything about this, but let me get comfortable on the bed.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
All right,
back.
Darren, let's go.
All right. So I'm gonna give you all a few skills to go with. We're doing spoken word poetry this morning, so you don't have to pay attention to any particular style.
Nice.
The most important thing to a poem is metaphor. Metaphor is the king of writing. Why? Because metaphor takes the writing to a higher level. In terms of it goes past just being a lecture and somebody talking. Now, what is a metaphor? And for those at home, you all could jump in and write too. A metaphor is comparing two things that you might not necessarily compare, a direct comparison. For
Without
example,
using like
TTT is a Lion TV station. If I say TTT is a Lion TV station, we know TTT is the king of all TV station. Right?
All
So
right, that's correct, actually.
that's correct.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
Facts or facts?
So it's a
Yeah.
factual
Facts are
metaphor.
facts.
It's a factual metaphor.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Right, but of course we know TTT is not a lion
An
per se,
actual
not
lion,
walking
right.
around growling, but we compare it to a lion. Right, so this morning we're gonna write about dreams. We'll sleep there and we're gonna write about your own personal dreams. Right, so I'm gonna give you all a line to start.
Oh, dear.
And your starting line is: when I sleep, I dream about. When I sleep, I dream about. That is the starting line this morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And they're off. Big poetry slam in the studio this
It's like
morning.
it has no
When
pen or
I
paper.
sleep, I dream about.
let's
And
see
your
that.
first technique is a metaphor. A metaphor, you're comparing two things that are not necessarily alike. You're making a direct comparison. Even though you cheat and you use a simile and you use like or as in between the comparison, that's fine, because you just want good comparisons this morning. And the more unique your comparison is, the better. Right? The more unique you could think about. Sometimes I just go about a room and I might see something, let's say a phone, and I decide to say how I could use this phone as a metaphor to talk about something. And we're talking about our dreams, right? So metaphor is one. I'm going to give you all another technique. easy technique and is very popular to spoken word poetry, which is rhyme, right? Bunji Garlin, very skillful at rhyming, right? Which is rhyme. So give me a word that rhymes with slight, anybody?
Might.
Might, right. He inside. Tight. Give me a word that rhymes with me.
She.
All in a gear there, man, right? So rhyme and metaphor, 2 techniques we have already. And then I'm going to give you all one more technique. And if you all could list all these 3 techniques in your poems throughout the course of the morning, all you're good to go. The last one is alliteration. Spoken word poets use them a lot. What is alliteration, Trinidad and Tobago?
Can you spell it again?
A-L-L-I-T.
Double L.
Right?
Yeah,
double L.
I know.
Alliteration, Trinidad and Tobago is repeating the initial consonant sound over a close period of time.
Right.
For example, Peter Pepper picked a pike of pickled peppers. Right? Alliteration across the line. Now, your alliteration doesn't have to be a set of consonant sounds going down. It could just be 2 words, like bareback blacks or the big bear. Right? Bareback blacks, that's a poem. That's the name of a poem.
I
wasn't prepared for bareback
What
blacks.
childhood you
I
have?
wasn't prepared. I just wasn't prepared. Sorry.
Morning
Yes.
blast.
Right?
Morning.
Not even that one.
So,
Morning, Mr. Stewart. Good morning.
That wasn't even on my mind.
Yeah.
right, so that's alliteration. So you all have 3 techniques: metaphor, rhyme, and alliteration. The rhyme
Metaphor,
usually, of
rhyme,
course, appears at the end of lines, but if you want to rhyme within the line, that's fine as well.
Like
that's
Eminem.
a technique called internal rhyme, like Eminem. And for those who listen to a lot of rap music, rappers are very, very skillful rhymers, and it's not as easy as it seems all the time. Right? And of course, in Trinidad, we have our extempo artists who rhyme on the spot. So those are 3 techniques we have, and you all have a theme to write about. When I sleep, I dream. You could write about anything, right? You could use...
That's the theme or that's the first line?
That's the first line, right?
Okay.
That's the first line. And culture, I mean, I always encourage writers to make their metaphors culturally relevant, as relevant to Trinidad and Tobago. Like things like snow and stuff, yeah, that's good. But you want to stay away from that if you really want to immerse yourself in a Caribbean experience, if you want the writing to be immersed in that. And then there are metaphors you could use, like the everyday thing, the doubles man, KFC, a mattress, whatever the case is.
Feel like you're hungry, but all right.
You know, so you could spring whatever ideas that you have. So for those who write at home, we in the process of writing, well, they're taking their notes. I don't know how we're going to write. You're going to write throughout the morning? Or
You want to stay till the show done?
Oh, I stay in here till the show
You
done.
don't have a choice at this point. You have given us this challenge, being there to stay and judge it at the end.
Right, I'm not judging Trinidad and Tobago judge. They'll put on the live and thing with their feel win. So now they come off the set as you could go and see.
Why?
All right. So, Darren, sticking around, we're going to learn how to, well, we've been learning how to write a poem. We figured out 3 parts that are important: metaphors, rhyming, and alliteration.
That's it.
And when I sleep, I dream about is the first line. So, guys, for the rest of the show, that's the challenge, right?
Get those poetry juices going.
All right. And we'll take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show, right? Stay tuned.
And I'll be practicing to dream.
When I sleep, I dream about spoken word poetry. This is spoken word poetry rhythm, defined by timed and measured movement in space. When words enter into any lyrical space, it becomes spoken word. You see, sometimes words shoot at such a lyrical pace, airs can fully embrace its sweetness, especially when displayed in the neatness of alliteration and the uniqueness of rhyme and the neatness of metaphor. With one line, you could penetrate the concrete confines of a man's mind. Spoken word is a man's mind, refined to find the hidden lines in his past time, so as time passes, he can impart finds on anyone who violates his history with the wrong story. Spoken word is your picture, your poem, or your short story. Words could do for you what words do for me. What words do for me? Words help me to be at peace when things confusing me, helps me to be at ease when something confusing me, like if some girl using me and accusing me of using her and my mind starts to blur. It's the spoken word that's helped me to see clearly. Sound expression, intellectual stimulation, so we call it literary, but that is just spoken word in theory. In reality, spoken word is the rhythmic pattern pattern of your life story stamped by alliteration. These simple sentences setting up such sensational synergy. Certified by simile. These same simple sentences like Gatorade will give you energy. Somewhere between we power metaphor working 8 to 4 is the devil and I'm a believer, so that is my enemy. If spoken word was gas, then you could call me NP. If spoken word was a cat, then I get pushed wrong by mummies in Massey Grocery. If spoken word was a dart, I come into the bullseye perfect and directly. If spoken word was passing gas, then I crawling up in here. What kind of mad scene I talking? Spoken word can never be gas passing. Spoken word is lyrical words marked in melody. Perform with passion and vigor. The tongue is a trigger that will never kill Indians, Chinese or Nick. Gross spoken word takes those offensive words and expands your nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So when you're doing spoken word, you don't even have to curse. Instead, when you get offended, you just tell the offender to shut your avatar air bending, ignorance ascending, false pretending, voice solo. You could just be silent. As added words subtract thoughts of violence. This is spoken word poetry. Imagine performing spoken word in multiple places and you writing multiple pages. Your multiple phrases just might bring about multiple changes in a society desperately in need of changing. So spoken word sometimes is all about changing things. Thank you.
I feel like we made a poor choice and we should have saved that for the end after we did our pieces. But yeah, let us go. Darren Sandy is our boss. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But it's not time. We need time to create.
Ayanka?
So my poem is all of 4 lines long.
That is a poem, valid poem.
It's a haiku.
But it's not, I was just going to say it's not a haiku, is it? Because it's supposed to be... You know what? Here we go. When I sleep, I dream about all the magic that comes out my mouth. My power lies beyond my eyes, and when I speak, I plan to hypnotize. And that's as far as I got.
I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going to set up people. I'm going to set up people, man. I'm going to set up people around here.
You said you didn't want to go first.
I'm working with all next week.
I gave you the opportunity to go first, Natalie.
I cannot go first. You hear my
But Ayanka just went, so you're no longer going first.
And you go second now.
You want me to go second?
Yes, you just want to
this
hear
man
people
have a whole poem written already,
and I tried
published.
I tried to figure out how to close
Right?
I brought my book along with me.
You read that poem last week.
No, I just... At the top it says metaphor, rhyme, and alliteration. Just what Darren told us this morning.
The music.
When I sleep, I dream about sleeping some more, no doubt. Sleep come like an oasis in a drought. Sweet, serene sleep. I'd love for us to meet some more. Preferably on a bed, not the floor.
Ooh.
Not just any kind of sleep. Me, I dream to overdo. Because like Irfan say, it's long overdue. Today, as we learn to write, a lentil bed sleep would feel just right. A snooze so deep, you find an Atlantis. Dream so vivid, not even Darren could write it. But about more than sleep, I dream to believe that together we aspire, together we can achieve.
No,
all
man.
right, man.
No.
All right, all right.
Ruckus, you win. Ruckus, you win. Ruckus, you win. It's all right.
I told you I was going to understand.
Let me hear Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh, Lord.
Drop up on them. Drop up
I'm not done yet, but
Carrie's
all right.
going to give you the 6 o'clock in the evening voice as well.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
Wait, just now. Let me get a position to listen. No, just finish.
I don't have many lines, so I'll probably throw in some, I don't know.
You're going to freestyle, is what you're saying?
Yes!
I don't know.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
When I sleep, I dream about the day you left, right, left, you march right out the door, leaving poor old me and poor old we, riding in an agonizing angst without an end in sight. I want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, telling us when we could be again, when we could march together like red ants climbing up that ant hill.
All of that is not on the video. All of that is not on the video. Styling this entire show.
You're supposed to snap so I wouldn't be cut off.
Sorry. He went off on a full... You okay, bro?
So now, Natalie, how do you feel about going last now?
Oh, God. Crap.
No, but I wasn't done.
I offered you the first, but
I wasn't done.
Carrie wasn't done. Go
I
ahead.
wasn't
Go ahead,
done
Carrie.
because you don't know what the poem about yet.
We do. I do. I figured it out.
Yeah?
That
Go
left,
ahead,
right, left
Carrie,
march
go
and you
ahead.
red ants. I figured it out. Already.
Ants climbing up an ant hill, trying to find the way to the queen. the Queen, which has
Bacchanal.
left us about a year and a month ago, the Queen that we still cannot find, and we cannot see the way in which the Queen will come back to rule on that throne. But as Rocker said, together we aspire and together we achieve. And I believe that once we all aspire together, we will achieve a 2022 that will see Carrie on the road. We'll see Carrie on the road with no shirt on, flanked by people left and right, and only in a unity that we could describe here as Trinis. Carnival, I miss you.
All right. Well, Lubel is me now. Lubel man. All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Thank you.
How did music change? Who's this?
Sorry.
When I sleep, I dream about being awake or being in a dream of reality, a stupid state, where my eyes are wide open to the stars, the skies, the shadows of the night, shut tight to the people, to the ravenous people, fighting to survive. When I sleep, I dream about a body being suspended in space where thoughts and patterns are saved by His amazing grace. Who is the grace, the Savior that rescues me? Not Almighty God, because He is my reality. But dreams are dreams of twisted realities, of realistic imaginations, of shadowing or awakenings. I dream of life during sleep. Am I awake or in a dream? Or am I asleep or am I awake?
What is this? Darren, I do not envy your task, sir. You hold on to You hold on to your thoughts, sir. That's kind of Darren, you had time to think?
Yes. I had time to think.
So just tell them I won and let's get it over with.
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean that.
First of all, you stole lines from the pledge or whatever that was, so you don't count. You won't tell
I
me.
paid
Let's
homage
go.
too. I paid
Let's
homage
go.
too.
Yeah, plagiarism.
So,
Plagiarism. All of mine
yes.
was all out of my head, just for the record.
Yes. I mean, all the poems were good. Was solid. You all showed that you all are very good learners and good quick writers. I was actually surprised at the length. Carrie had the extended metaphor, Queen for Carnival going through, which is important. Rockers, of course, deep and rich, a lot of metaphors. He put a simile in there. I heard something about the Oasis. And all the work was good. If I had to give a winner, I'd of course let the people decide, but I'll have to give it to Natalie.
I just want to thank all of my fans for this great opportunity.
We made it.
Oh, I know, I'm so excited. Where's my gift?
There's no prize.
Oh.
The prize is just that you won.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
No, I will take that. I'm a
We
Jamaican.
know you will
I was
utilize
just
it.
about to
I would
say,
take that.
all week long, she about to do poetry.
All week, all year long, till the
Get
next
ready.
World Poetry Day, she's gonna do this.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
yes.
is gonna
Thank
be
you.
tough.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Thank you, Darren.
yes, for
No,
sure.
but
She
no,
definitely
no,
had
for
all
real
the
though.
devices inside. It was a rich piece. World Poetry Day is Sunday, so you could put up on your
Serious?
Instagram and
Yep,
here
yep,
Sunday World Poetry
People
Day.
always tell me that I'm good at writing, but honestly, I don't think I believe in myself as a writer.
Interesting.
Well,
No,
I
I'm
guess you can
serious.
believe from today.
You've just been validated.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, good too.
Yeah?
All right. And with that one, guys, we are going to take a short break. We have so much more in the program. Imagine that. We still have a lot more. So stay right where you are. We'll be right back after this.